Hi, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. I hope you're having a great week so far now that Friday's here. So, today I just want to rant about something, and that is just the subjective nature of mainstream media towards sports cards. And you may be asking yourself, well, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about how they approach, sports cards. They don't dig into the negative aspects of it. It's always like this big smiley face, positive, positive, positive. And there's big, YouTube sports card gurus who are the same way. Positive, positive, positive. But how can you be, objective if you're always, pushing the positivity in the hobby over the negativity? And I've seen some great channels, that start out strong. They get a lot of views. And just like my channel, eventually those views start going down. And you have to ask yourself, well, what is it about, objective sports card channels, objective sports card news that tends to focus, on the negative aspects as well as the positive aspects that people just don't like? And so I can get into some of these headlines, and let's see how they make you feel. Because when I look at these headlines, I almost feel like the companies who are churning out the stuff, for sports card news are like hand in hand with the corporations like Topps Fanatics who are manufacturing the cards, if you know what I mean. And so I guess the mainstream media looks at sports cards enthusiasts like we're just a bunch of idiots who only like good news, if you know what I mean. Because they definitely don't do their homework when it comes to the negative aspects of sports cards, like, say, all the scams and the schemes, all of, the price gouging, the expensive cost, how it's favored towards breakers over, average hobbyists. They don't really dig into that. All they do is go out of their way to sell you a bunch of BS, And I can only take it for so long. I mean, I'll be honest. I look at headlines like this and I want to vomit because it just doesn't do anything for me at all. And I know these are big companies and maybe they've been paying the Google ads to get, their news up there and this and that so that they feel special. But their news is really lame. And their headlines are about as lame as the effort that they put into it. I just couldn't imagine waking up in the morning and doing an episode of, my sports card show, Mountain Gym Card Collectibles, and going, well, I'm just going to talk about, for instance, 3 Kyle Schwarber rookie baseball cards to keep an eye out for. I mean, can you, put a less effort into this, if you know what I mean? I mean, it's like hardly any effort at all, And then we have, Beckett, who's always, putting out the good news over the bad news, Beckett, for his 100th birthday, a guide to Bobby Shantz baseball cards. I could care less, Beckett. I mean, can't you dig into the news instead of just basically putting out another big smiley face for us all? You know what I mean? And I could care less about any of these headlines. Headlines like this, I just like to crumple up and throw in the garbage. From Sports Illustrated. Top 5 PSA 10 rookie cards from 1988 to 89 OPC hockey. I just want to vomit after reading headlines like that. I just, blah. I'm throwing up. I'm dry heaving. Why? Come on, guys. There is so much negative aspects of sports cards here. I mean, why do you always have to sell us sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns? Why can't the mainstream media do their damn job? This comes from the New York Times. New York Times. A potentially undervalued Lamar Jackson rookie card. Our sports card of the week. With all the bad stuff going on, that's the New York Times. I mean, that's horrid. That's just not even giving a damn. That's just like me waking up and going, well, I'm going to talk about a card. I mean, who cares? There are so many cards on the market. Mickey and friends suit up in MLB uniforms and new Disney Topps cards. I'm trying to give a damn here. I'm trying to give 2 cents of giving a damn here. I know I should be excited about this, but I'm not excited about that at all. Because it's just more Topps fanatics shilling out, more BS. And whoever's doing this, the Disney Parks blog. Yeah, that seems about right, But it's not just the Disney Parks blog shilling out that BS. It's a lot of other companies. Could another modern sports card break Jordan Kobe record? The top candidates among numbered 1 of 1 gems. Yeah, if you're a billionaire or a millionaire, that headline might interest you. But, if you're just an average Joe like me, yep, that's for the big, valued sports card collectors, that's never me. And of course they focus on that. They're always going to focus on the millionaires and billionaires and the sports card hobby. They always have. The mainstream media has always been guilty of not doing anything for us except just throwing that out there to make a few extra, cents, I guess. And I believe I have seen this headline over and over again. It's always a different card, but and usually like a different year. This rare 2000 Ken Griffey Jr. baseball card is insanely cheap. Yeah, I probably have it. It's up for sale, man. 99 cents on eBay plus shipping. Like, seriously. What a load, huh? I mean, and that's what I mean is it's just a non-effort game for the media. All right, so I did an episode a few days ago, and the mainstream media was really shilling this thing out and not giving a damn, about it. And there it is. This comes from MLB.com. Topps unveils shoeless Joe Jackson's first licensed trading card. So if you dug into this, you'd know that Topps fanatics took a picture from 1913 when shoeless Joe Jackson was part of the Cleveland Naps. Okay, he's in a Cleveland Naps uniform wearing a Cleveland Naps hat. But if you notice, they put shoeless Joe Jackson's very first team, the Philadelphia A's, on there. Okay. And I call this card a monstrosity, because they photoshopped the hat, And so it's not even close to his rookie card. I showed, like a 1909 rookie card. They could have done more, but they photoshopped all of this to make it seem like this was his true rookie card for his first Bowman. And they even put prospect up there. But yet, for shoeless Joe Jackson, his rookie years go from 1908, 1909, 1910, 1911. Yeah, he has 4 years where they count as rookie cards. But yet they're giving us a picture from 1913 that you can pull up on Wikipedia. They colorized it. They photoshopped it so that they changed it so like it would look like a different uniform. It's a complete joke. Now, MLB.com could have reported on that. They didn't do any homework at all. They just went in there hand in hand with Topps Fanatics and went, we're going to help sell this card for you, Topps Fanatics. That's not journalism. That's not journalism at all. I mean, that's just promoting a card. And so we get so much of this, for mainstream media. that I just want to barf so often. And when I wake up anymore, I rarely watch any YouTube guru at all anymore. I'm just happier doing my own thing. Because so much of it, like the YouTube gurus, they're always puffing smoke up your butt, just like the mainstream media. They don't want to do their homework. They don't want to dig into the negative aspects of sports cards. They just would prefer to, put on a big smiley face for you, and everything is as happy as can be in the sports card realm. Or there's never anything negative about baseball cards or sports cards in general. But all you have to do is look at some of the, channels on YouTube that dig into, the negativity. Rattle Pokemon, for instance, on the whatnot. How the mainstream media doesn't focus on some of those Rattle Pokemon stories, I don't know. Because I just look at the mainstream media like they're just a bunch of corporate shills who walk hand in hand with the corporations, just like a lot of these big YouTube gurus, And it's sad to see the channels on YouTube that dig into the negative aspects get lesser views, because clearly we live in the United States where a lot of the hobby would prefer to have news corporations, YouTube gurus, blowing smoke up your you-know-what rather than digging into the problems of the hobby. And hey, if you're a millionaire or you're just some rich guy, maybe that's the way life is for you. I wish I could say that for myself, If you're not wealthy in this hobby, you really have to know what you're getting into. You have to know the negativity. You have to be informed, You don't want to be the big guy with, the big Joker smile on his face 24/7, huffing in all the positivity, and just denying all the negativity, in this hobby. Because there are so much negative aspects of card collecting and sports cards, TCG, whatever. And that is where, if I could take the mainstream media to court and put them on trial, and we could have, prosecution, defense, and the prosecution is really going to town on mainstream media. Like, why are you not doing your job? Why are you, acting like you're part of Topps Fanatics or Panini or, these big corporations? Why are you not being objective? Why are you just basically giving us articles to sell us stuff, to where it feels like you're owned by Topps Fanatics? And what would they say? That's just it. What would they say? Oh, well, we didn't want to do our homework? Yeah, no kidding. You guys never do your homework, Just like a lot of big YouTube sports card channels that I started watching. Now, I no longer watch. I could care less, I need to be informed. And so there's a lot of channels on YouTube that do inform you about the negative aspects of it, but they're not the biggest channels, you know what I mean? And I'm talking channels that, get, anywhere between, 2,000 to 0 views. Those are typically your better channels. The ones that get thousands and thousands of views, I'm always suspicious about, because they're typically just going on and, acting like the mainstream media, just selling you a bunch of positive garbage, garbage in, garbage out. There's no objectivity to it at all. It's just positive, positive, positive. We have more rainbows and unicorns to sell you. Smile. Why? Because that's the sports card hobby. That's the TCG hobby. What a joke. So how do you feel about, the mainstream media, not doing their jobs, not being objective, not digging into the stories, to where you have to, do your homework. You have to wake up and watch, some YouTube gurus that are focusing on the negativity. You have to dig into X or whatever to focus on, what's going on in the hobby, because once again, the mainstream media has just become such a joke overall, and what they try and shill out. I've tried to do my best on this channel, but I'm not monetized. If I was monetized, I could do a lot better job. I have to do other stuff, unfortunately. But anyway, do you just feel like you're being overdosed on sports card TCG hobby positivity over the negative aspects of it? And really, who's to blame for all of it? I mean, is it just the media companies just always wanting to, sell you the don't worry, be happy aspect of the sports card realm over, the whole thing is burning down aspect of it? It is what it is. It makes it hard to go into it every day and be happy. If you're always being sold, the good time stories over the bad time stories. You know what I mean? And so, like I said earlier, when I do my sports cards anymore, I'm just doing my own things. And I'm happier doing it over, being brainwashed by a useless mainstream media that just feels like they're a bunch of corporate shills, that's all they care about is, sticking up for big, wealthy corporations and selling, consumers a bunch of BS, and they never really talk about the negative aspects of breakers in mainstream media. I don't even know if they've ever done an article on the negative aspects of breakers, in mainstream media. They probably signed something to where they can't do it because it's all about the money. And I can look at other YouTube sports card channels and I could say the same thing. And I just want to throw up. I just want to barf. It's like, come on, guys. Do your work. Do your homework, So anyway, I'd like to thank my subscriber base like I always do. You're the reason I keep doing this, because I'm not monetized. And if you're a viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, hey, it's 100% free. Just click your button and it would help my channel out significantly. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.